Okay. Hardly anyone is talking about Apophis, the near-Earth asteroid that they are predicting, or the scientists are predicting, will hit in 2029 near Earth. And they said, well, no, in 2027. But I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this. I think it's kind of been kept on the down low because, well, they don't want to let people know what's coming. But this asteroid, this Apophis asteroid, asteroid 999, interesting inverted, 666, 99942, which is about 1,200 feet or 370 meters wide, larger than 90% of asteroids. It orbits the sun every 324 days and comes close to Earth roughly every decade, and it was given the nickname Apophis for the Egyptian god of chaos. Interesting thing about it is the astronomers don't think Apophis will collide with Earth on its current trajectory, but they do believe it's going to be coming close. Now, I was doing a little reading on Apophis, and of course my search engine came up and had some interesting information, but it was talking about Apophis. The history of Apophis is the snake god. Well, that's pretty interesting. Reptilian. Apophis, also known as Apep or Aphoph, usually depicted as a giant snake or serpent. Who was in the garden? The serpent is the ancient Egyptian deity of chaos, darkness, and fire, and is the opponent of light and Mot. Okay, so this is something else that was said. My search assistant said it. Apophis is a near-Earth asteroid, and it will make a close approach to Earth on April 13th, 2029. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, I find this interesting because I do think Apophis has some parallels to Wormwood of the Bible and of the book of Revelation. And I'll go to that in a minute. But initially, Apophis, the reptile asteroid, was thought to pose a risk of impact. Further observations have ruled out any chance of collision for at least the next 100 years. Okay, so it has a close approach, April 13th, 2029. Now, they have been looking at, the scientists have been looking into this, but I want to read about what the Bible talks about, and it talks about Wormwood, this star. Or, it could be an asteroid, but it talks about during the seals that the Bible talks about. It talks about, let me just read from Revelation 8:10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. Now, I just read that it represents fire. Okay, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third of the waters and upon the fountains of the waters. A third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star, which is a planetary, or let's just call it a luminary, whatever you want to call it, star, is called Wormwood. Wormwood means bitterness. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many people died of the waters because they were made bitter. And it says, and the fourth angel sounded, and a third part of the sun was smitten. So I'm wondering, they have been talking about technology to destroy asteroids and to make them into smaller, I guess, lack of scientific term, chunks. And they've even alluded to that in certain films about destroying, I think it was Armageddon. I don't think I have that pulled up, but they've talked about in films, associated with the, fallen angels / aliens coming, the War of the Worlds and Armageddon. I don't have that pulled up, but they've talked about how they have the technology to destroy these asteroids or planetary bodies or stars and break them up. So perhaps, and I don't know this is as fact, of course, but I'm speculating that they would, if they were to able to hit it incoming, then it would break apart part of it anyway, being that it's so large. Perhaps part of it would hit the sun or darken the sun. I know they have technology too, also to hide the sun from us and darken it, so they could do it that way. But they also have technology where they can, hit asteroids and stars coming into our environment. And it says here in 8:12, Revelation 8:12, and the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten. That means it was hit. And the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars. So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part, and the night likewise. So this is describing in Revelation 8 about the seals being opened, which is, of course, that's descriptive language describing an event that can possibly be happening in the heavenlies. And the seals being opened. And I just thought this was interesting. I wanted to read, too, this article I came across. It talks about that it could be the size of a city killer. This is a city killer asteroid the size of the Empire State Building is still a potential threat to Earth in 2029. Now they're saying if this, say they do hit this asteroid, it's going to fall on the waters. Well, wouldn't that cause a lot of disturbances along the nation's coastlines? Perhaps tsunamis and whatnot. So for me, this seems to point to something coming soon. We're in 2026 now, March of 2026. Now, Jesus talked about, I'm only adding this because I believe right now, contrary to what a lot of people are saying, that the rapture, or that's not actually in Scripture, by the way, the word rapture. It's the catching up is in Scripture. That's called harpazo in the Greek. But so many people are saying now, it's going to happen any second. The rapture's going to happen any second. The rapture's going to happen now, immediately. Well, I don't think so. I think that if the rapture were to happen, it was going to be closer to this time when this near-Earth object is coming passing by our Earth and causing a lot of tumult. And I believe we're in the time of sorrows. That's my opinion, because Jesus called it the beginning of sorrows. Okay, so, his disciples were asking him, they were saying, well, when shall these things be? When Jesus is saying one stone is not going to be left upon another. And the disciples came to him in private and privately saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So we know, I believe, a lot of people are saying, no, that's talking about years ago, many, many years, centuries ago. No, I think Matthew 24 is distinctly talking about, this is my opinion, you can argue it till the cows come home, but I believe Matthew 24 is talking about the time of now, because I believe we are in the end days, the last days, the end of the world. And so it would be applying to our times. And what was Jesus' answer to them? Well, his first answer to them was, take heed that no man deceive you. And we have, I've lost count. I mean, you can go and try to expose these deceivers and liars and false prophets and people speaking out of their hat, and really, and they're just causing people to lose faith. They're doing a disservice to Christians. I'm specifically speaking to Christians, getting them all disappointed, and people potentially lose their faith. Will lose their faith because they were told that the rapture's going to happen any second, and yet here we are, and say it doesn't happen, right? No man knows the day or hour. The scriptures even say, and I don't have the scripture pulled up, says no man knows the day or hour, and even Jesus doesn't know. Only the Father. Only the Father knows when this is going to happen. The rapture's going to happen. Only the Father. But anyway, getting back to what Jesus said, it says, and Jesus answered them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and shall deceive many. So let's paraphrase that. Many people are going to deceive you. That's my words. And you'll hear of wars and rumors of wars. What are we hearing about now? Wars and rumors of wars? Yeah, that we've been hearing about that for a long time, but specifically the end days, I think it's now. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there'll be famines and pestilences. And what did we just go through for the last 5 years? 5+ years. And earthquakes. I believe that we're going to be seeing some earthquakes, some major earthquakes coming up soon. Jesus said, all these are the beginning of sorrow. So I think we got a little time before Apophis hits us. Apophis comes or passes by the earth. But that's in 2029. And because it's kind of on the down low, it seems like the information, people are not really talking about it. A few people, I guess. I thought I'd talk about it. So for what it's worth, this is information to store in your memory banks. And as the time grows closer to when this happens, I think, and also it'll be an indicator, I believe, of when the end is coming. So, yeah, I thought this was good information, and I hope this has been helpful for you. And with that said, thanks for listening.